Okay, let me see. Okay, hopefully now we are live. Let me invite a few people. Okay, we got at least one viewer, so I know we are live. Sorry about the confusion, folks, but we will get this thing going here in just a couple minutes. As soon as everybody gets in here, I apologize once again. Now just waiting on Brian and Daniel to get in here. Okay, am I live on this one now, guys? I'm just waiting to make sure that I am live before I do anything else. Okay, good. Now just to get Brian and them. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what is going on with YouTube. It is getting crazy. But let's get them in here because let me send them a Facebook. I sent them one via YouTube, but who knows? Just give me 1 second, guys. But yeah, basically, let's go. I'll go ahead and start talking about a few things. Oh, no, wait. No, I better wait because we were getting some good discussion there. One of the things that we were actually discussing was the Duncan Hunter vaping in the committee the other day. So, and Brian had some good things about that. So I want to make sure to get them in here for that. Okay. I have posted a new link to them. So we're just waiting on them. So is there any advocacy issues any of you have seen happen in chat? Any that you want brought up tonight that I might know about?
What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I was just asking chat if there was anything that they had that they knew of advocacy-wise that we might be able to talk about. Hey, Stan.
All right, so we're live now. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we got everybody. Okay, we're gonna, since we're already, we're just gonna skip the introductions since that all happened. But let's go back to Duncan Hunter vaping because we got to talk about that to where everybody can see it because that was a riot act. I mean, the simple fact of how he's been such a proponent of the industry. And I do want to say, hey, Steve, I do see you there from Smiley E-Liquid.
Hey, Steve.
But, now what was, Didn't you have something that you wanted to talk about when it was with Duncan Hunter?
Duncan.
Brian? The congressman? Okay. Don't worry about it.
When he was vaping inside the meet.
Yeah, inside the committee meeting.
Yeah. That I couldn't find a thing to watch the whole thing on it, but I just saw him take a vape and then the lady next to him like wave it at him, and he looked at her like she was crazy, and he just looked over and he's like, "This is a vape product. There's no combustion.
This is a vaporizer.
It's a vaporizer." And just look on his face when that lady waved it away, and he looked at her like she was crazy. I thought that was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, but the only bad part about that was the simple fact that later, I did watch a little more of it. I was able to find a little extra. Someone actually used that against him, saying, well, she was bothered by it, and you saw her waving it. So, I mean, I can understand not vaping on planes, even though I think it's a good idea, but I think vaping on planes would be fine, but...
Not like blowing huge clouds,
no.
You know.
Like he had a very covert vape.
Yeah, like a little
he
style.
just had one of the little tiny pen vapes that they produce clouds like we produce when we do our reviews to show cloud production. And honestly, that's a topic that I've talked to a couple people about. And honestly, blowing clouds in your house, and if you're at like a vape meet or something like that, is different than doing it out in public. Some people it does bother. They're not familiar with what it is. They think it's smoke, and it's not. When I hear people say that it's smoke, it kind of pisses me off, and I correct them. And, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong for that, but it isn't smoke, and it should be classified as what it is. It's water vapor, and it's not harmful to you secondhand, such as cigarettes. And, when I'm out in public, if I have to take a vape like in Walmart or something like that, I don't take a vape as to where I'm blowing a huge cloud out. I take a little one just to get enough little nicotine fix, and I blow it down to the ground or up in the sky, and it's not even enough to where you can really tell that I took a vape. So blowing clouds in public, some people it does bother, but just don't blow huge clouds out in public. Save it for when you're at your house or at a cloud comp or something like that.
Yeah, people just need to be educated on what it is, And until people get educated, you can't get mad at them.
No, you can't get mad at them. I just like that. I like to when they say, "Oh, well, look at that big cloud of smoke you're blowing." Well, it's not, and I'm not. When I correct them on it, I'm not mean about it. I say, look, that's not smoke, it's water vapor. It's not going to harm you in any way. I try not to be too forward to them, but
disrespectful.
Right? I don't disrespect them in any way, but I don't it's not smoke, it's water vapor, and that's the thing. And a couple years ago, vaping wasn't as big as it is now. Vaping is big now, and a lot of people aren't educated on it. So when they see you blowing big, huge clouds, they're confused as to what it is, and they should be told that it's not harmful and stuff like that to know, and they should be educated.
I mean, I totally agree. I mean, I just have to say I agree with that. Now, like I had mentioned before, too, I do want to say congratulations to everybody over there in Virginia. Us getting that indoor vaping ban tabled was a great thing. Now we just have to do the Pennsylvania one, and we need to just get H.R. 2058 finally passed. But we'll talk about that here in a little while. Now, let's get to what we were when we had to switch over. Rip trippers. Like I was stating before, I can understand where he was coming from, because I really think, after looking at everything, that he did it with the right heart. But he went about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I mean, with the links that he had, not disclosing that, with the simple fact of telling the side effects of dehydration as though they were the side effects of vaping. I mean, that could be used in so many ways.
It was more
against us.
Looking from an outside in, that was more hurtful to the community than it was. Like, to us, we know you get dry mouth. I've never had any cramps from it, but you get dry mouth and stuff like that. But on the outside looking in, it's more of like this is bad. This is the example right here.
Exactly.
But might have been he was doing it in good intentions, but it's just not something you put up.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody asks, you tell them. You don't put it up when you got 600,000 people behind you.
Exactly.
That just makes him look bad.
He just has too many followers to do something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, to be totally honest. Now, Aiden, he did mention something which is the truth. I know of this happening. Non-smokers that come over to vaping. That's very true. That does happen. Personally, I don't recommend it.
No.
Simply because this is harm prevention, and when someone is a non-smoker, they're opening themselves up for if we would later find something. Because we don't say, or I'm sorry, it's harm reduction, not harm prevention. Because, we don't truly know. But with any technology, you don't truly know.
Right.
So, I mean, and, I have to say, I agree with, I was noticing Steve had said something about vaping where the smokers are. I do agree that, when you're at work, you should go outside. But, honestly, I feel that there should be vape areas and smoking areas. Not just a smoking area.
Again,
Because
people have to be more educated that don't vape. They need to be more educated because they think it's the same thing. We know it's not, but people just have to be educated. I mean, that's the bottom line with everything. People have to be educated before they start allowing it to not affect them as much. I mean, you're always going to have those people out there that hate it because it looks like something else, but it's just education, a lot of education, and we're really young in the world, and I mean, it just takes a lot of education, and I mean, that's really all.
Yeah, it definitely comes down to education. I saw, I don't remember where it was in the chat, but somebody had said something about they were asked if they were smoking weed when they were vaping because of the cloud they let out, and I can see somebody mistaking that because really when you're smoking a cigarette, think about it. When you were smoking a cigarette, the cloud you let out from a cigarette is nowhere compared to the cloud that you let out when you're vaping. Now, and I'm sure we've all done it. We're all adults, and we've smoked weed, and the
I haven't.
That comes off of that. Okay, well, I have, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I don't anymore. But clouds that you get off of that are comparable to vaping, and I can see where somebody would mistake that as well.
Well, see, the other issue with that, which that can be a whole nother discussion for another day, is simply because not only are vaporizers for e-cigarettes, but they make dry herb vaporizers.
Right.
And they make things for, like the dabs and things like that, that look a lot like e-cigs. And in some areas, actually down in Florida, this happened a couple of months, like 3 or 4 months ago. Cops were actually catching people that had marijuana in e-cigs to get away with it.
I mean, they make like oils that you put in tanks.
Yeah.
My buddy had one, and it looked just like an Ego style battery with a little tank, and you just filled it up, and no one, like, if you didn't know, like I didn't know when I vaped, you know.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now, I do want to say, for anyone out there, go check out WeSavedVaping.com. They have a petition going out there that's going to the president about HR 2058 and reworking the deeming regulations. It's another one. I will put that down in the description. I had it set up for the other one, but I'll go ahead and redo it. Now we're going to talk about something that is a little touchy of a subject, but it's something that we do need to talk about with the season we're in right now. The 2016 elections. I forget which politicos stated it, but according to one of the big-name politicos, vaping and the consumers of vaping will make a huge impact on the 2016 elections. And there's a reason for that. Because we want to see HR 2058 passed. This year there's senators up. This year there's congressmen up. This year there's a president up. And it kills me. Hey, Tommy, if you want to get an invite to come join us on the talk, just SC, if you want to send him an invite, go ahead. Do you know how to send the invites?
I have no idea.
I'll see if I can send it.
You want me to do it?
Oh yeah, if you want to do it, go ahead. Because this year, I'm going to say something that everybody else says isn't true, but it is. Vaping has become a partisan issue. Oh, okay, Tommy. He's not home.
Oh, okay.
It has become a partisan issue. I remember last July, Matt from Suck My Mod actually stated that it was not a partisan issue. Well, let's just think of this way. HR 2058. Every single co-signer of that bill is one specific party. I'm not even going to mention the party. The states that anti-e-cig legislation are passing are one philosophy states. States that they're being held up are one-party states. They're this. It is flowing out. If you look at where things are happening, it is a partisan issue. Go out there, do your research, guys. I'll even provide links for you to look at some of these things that I'm talking about. Look at I have spoken with a lot of the presidential candidates. Not them themselves, but I've spoken with their staff. And I've asked them things about vaping. From one side, I get the health issues. From the other side, I get positive for us. So, I mean, unless people want me to go partisan and tell the parties, I will. But do your research. Look at everything going on. Talk to your congressman this year. Talk to those running. If there's somebody running and you don't, and your congressman has not backed H.R. 2058, talk to them. See what their beliefs are. See if they support it. This is the year we can make a difference.
Yeah.
Yep. And especially with the new people coming in, I think would be the best time to put it out there, because I'm sure with everybody, with the new election going on, everybody that's getting ready to go out is probably not dealing with it as much right now. So it'd probably be better to kind of force it into the new election more, because as they're coming in fresh, they'd be able to deal with it more. So that's how I think about it. They're fresh coming in, and that'd be the best time to do everything, try to get everything handled.
Yeah, in South Carolina, there hasn't been anything about it, so that's pretty good. I like that. But again, you know what state it is, so that's why they're really not that big on it. You know, I mean, it's probably come up a couple times, but it's nothing really, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, we do have to be out there punching it. We do have to be talking to people because, you know, I mean, it's just a back and forth, back and forth. Now, as I had said before, H.R. 2058, it is not dead. I understand, Steve, that they're doing that. Those are canned responses. That's why I tell people, do not email only. What you need to do is you need to actually call your congressman. I will put a link down in the replay of this to where you can go ahead, click on that. It'll give you the address, the DC and local offices for all of your congressmen and your senators. Call them. To be honest with you, when a congressman or a U.S. senator gets an email, they don't even hardly look at them.
No.
I mean, they get over 1,000 emails a day. They're not going to be able to look at every one.
Mm-hmm.
But when you call, it gets recorded on a piece of paper. And when they do that, it actually goes to them and is put into a database to where they see who has called in. Like, you know, I was going to talk about PA legislation that's still in play. I'm going to use that for an example. I called my local representative, and I was on the phone with them for an hour and a half talking about vaping. I am now, right now, on the list for my local rep to call to set up a meeting to talk to him about vaping. He is a supporter, but he wants to learn more for when the legislation comes to the floor. So I'm on his list to call to be able to talk to him. And when I asked him one simple question, what is the number of calls or number of contacts you are getting from vapors versus those against this. And they flat out said, we don't even keep track of emails. We have been getting for every one vapor, or I'm sorry, every one against the for the legislation, they've been getting 20 against. So they've been getting 20 vapors for every one against vaping.
That's good.
in my district. So that's the whole thing. They keep track of that a lot more than, and that's the one thing I hate. You know, I love CASA to death. That's one of the best ways to keep up on everything that's going on locally. Mm-hmm. But they push so hard on emailing when it does not have any weight with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I've contacted them multiple times, and they keep telling me, we're getting 20 to 1, 20 to 1, 20 to 1. There's actually, it's not, Miss Michelle, the thing is, it's not non-vapors. It's these out there that believe that there is a second-hand effect.
That's
bad
the
for problem.
Other people.
Right.
They want the Clean Air Act here in PA passed. But it's overwhelmingly against. So, honestly, I have told people this. To me, the bill is dead. And then on top of that, the 40% tax, same thing, 20 to 1. Actually, they said they really haven't gotten hardly any for the tax. Excuse me. So, now, deeming regulations. We're still waiting on them. To be honest with you, I would like to see them held off until after November. I would honestly like to see them held off till after the presidential election.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's going to happen is, a lot of people do not realize this. The longer it stretches it out, the better it is for us. Because if it doesn't pass this session, and I saw that about Pepsi, if it doesn't pass this session, then that means there's another whole amount of time that they have to get it through. Because it still even though the law passed for them to give the regulations, they do still have to approve the regulations. So we do still have a little bit of a padding.
Now, are you talking about like the FDA
yeah, the FDA deeming regulations. So we do still have a little bit of padding. Plus, on top of that, Congress can go in there and take away that right. They gave it to them. They can take it away. So after November, you know, things could completely change. We get a new president in there. He appoints a new FDA director. Things could change completely. So that's why another reason I'm saying.
I mean, Michelle, yeah, I guess. I mean, the numbers do sound kind of high, you know. But, like she said, I mean, they could be telling you what you want to hear. You know?
I understand. I am hearing that not only from that rep, I'm hearing it from multiple reps.
Yeah.
That's the issue. If I was only hearing it from one rep, see, a little bit of history with me, for those of you that haven't been involved with the channel a lot, I started off nothing but politics.
Yeah.
And I have a ton of connections, so I talk to people. And at least here in Western Pennsylvania, they are pretty much you can't drive 10 minutes without running into at least 2 vape shops now.
It's the same way around here. We have vape shops like crazy. I mean, you can do a Google search, and there are so many vape shops around here. I mean, there's a vape shop 2 blocks up the street from me. I can throw a rock at it. And there are so many people switching over to vaping, and there are so many people getting into vaping that have never smoked a day in their life and they're vaping zero nic because they like the flavors that they have and stuff like that. And so it's not only people that smoke that are getting into vaping. I know people that have got into vaping specifically for flavors and such, and they don't even vape nicotine. And they've never smoked a cigarette a day in their life.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, Michelle's bringing up a good point. You know, a lot of this is coming up simply because of the issues that occurred in the past with the settlements with the state. But the problem with that is these issues occurred a while back. The legislatures that are in currently, it all depends on your state. If the legislature is against the extra taxes or something like that, they're not going to pass it just because of that.
Right.
That's the simple fact. Government changes so much that what happens 5 minutes ago could change 12 minutes from now.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's the truth. But the sad part is, and this is what kills me, of all the vapors, 99% of vapors sit on their butts and do nothing. Only 1% of vapors go out there and actually do anything. And this is not coming from me. This is actually a statistic that was given to me by the Vaping Militia, which is a credible advocacy organization in our industry.
Yeah, and Michelle said, I want you to go in your local mall and just take a survey and ask people if they think smoke/vape and what they think about it. Okay, but here's the thing, Michelle. If you look back on it, look how long smoking has been around, and look how long vaping has been around. It's just started to pop within the past 2 years. So, and there's no studies done on it, nothing yet. We don't really know that much about vaping and stuff like that. So, of course it's going to take a little bit of time to get stuff like that. Okay, yeah, the debt thing, we're always going to be in debt, whether it's with vaping or not. We're just a debt country. We don't know how to manage our bills, and that's what it comes down to. That has nothing to do with vaping. It has to do with us as a country are the worst people when it comes to managing finances. And that's just the straight down fact is our country sucks at managing money. And we have so much debt with China and everything. I can guarantee you there is no gold whatsoever in Fort Knox. And if Germany or if China or anybody that we're supposed to be holding their gold for says, hey, I need my gold, I can guarantee you that we would not be able to give them a red cent of it because it's not there. We've used it.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Everybody's saying people need educated. People need educated. But who is educating?
Us.
Who is it up to? It's up to us.
Everybody.
To educate.
Right.
That is why we need to do it. We need to go out there. We need to educate people on vaping. That's the whole issue. But let's get back into vaping even tighter. And let's go ahead and talk about the topic of the night. This is a touchy subject. And I'm actually on the fence. Am I against teen vaping? Yes. But should we as a community be open to parents who their children or who their teens are already smoking, encouraging them to switch over to vape? I'm on the fence about that.
Yeah, that's a touchy subject for me. Oh man, I don't even know how to answer that.
What was it? If teens should vape instead of smoke?
Well, should we, as a community, be open to parents having the ability to persuade their child who currently smokes to vape?
Okay, here's what I think about it, okay?
Yeah, Fresh, I'll send you an invite here in a second. I tried sending you one earlier, but for some reason it didn't go.
I think... Are you going to send Fresh the link, or did you want me to?
Yeah, I'll send it to him.
Okay.
You go ahead and talk.
I think, okay, when it comes to teen vapors, alright, my cousin, he recently just turned 18. However, he started smoking cigarettes when he was 14. And he wasn't going to stop. So what happened was my grandmother was buying them for him, which, you know, is not cool. But if you're not going to stop, why go to some random person and stuff like that? So I would rather see, before he turned 18 and, you know, before I found vaping, and now that I found vaping and know how it is, I would rather see him vape, which he does now, than put all those toxins in his body. If he's going to do it, and it's his choice, but if he's going to do it, I would rather see him do something that's much safer than smoke cigarettes and shorten his lifespan up, and vape and be able to still, you know, have a nice life without choking and hacking up blood and taking 3 steps and not being able to breathe and stuff like that, especially at a young age. So that's kind of my view on it. I don't think, I mean, now that I'm older and I'm an adult and I've matured a little bit, I don't think any kids should smoke at all, even vape. But if they're going to, I would rather see them vape than smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see where you guys are coming from, but here's the thing. Okay, say the community gets to the point and the parents are starting to recommend it. Okay? Now, what happens, because, you know, what's one of the main reasons a lot of people start smoking?
Peer pressure.
And rebelling against their parents.
Right.
If the parent endorses it, how is that rebellion? Are they going to take to it?
See, that's a good question, because kids love rebelling against their parents. I love rebelling against my parents. That's why I smoke cigarettes. That's why I started smoking weed. That's why I got into, that's why I got into doing a lot of things. But I think, see, that's a touchy subject. But I think you should have a relationship with your kid as to where they feel comfortable talking to you about stuff like that. But kids are always going to rebel against your parents and do stuff behind your back. So it's like a 50-50 thing. Damn if you do, damn if you don't, you know? So like I said,
this is definitely a harder subject than.
That's just like you know your kid is in high school and he's going to be going to parties with his friends and stuff and going to be drinking. Should you buy him the alcohol? You know, my parents weren't for it. However, I did it anyway. But my mother always told me, like, okay, if you get drunk to the point where you can't walk, don't ever drive. Don't ever drive and drink, or don't ever drink and drive. So it kind of goes with, like I said, I would rather see, if they're going to do it, I would rather see them vape than smoke cigarettes. And that's...
Oh, I totally agree. I would much rather they do vaping than cigarettes. But the issue is, it's illegal.
Yeah.
Who's going to be punished for that? Is it going to be the kid? Is it going to be the adult? Are adults going to be more hesitant to do it and to encourage it?
I think
if it's illegal?
If you're like 12 or 13, you shouldn't even be thinking about it, you know?
Exactly.
But 16 and like 16 and 17 is kind of like, okay, we think is better than smoking. Is it okay? No, but I'd rather see vapes around than, you know, cigarette butts all on the floor.
Right.
You know, like, I don't. It's a hard. It depends on who you ask. You know?
Yeah.
That's just like Aiden said in the comments. That vape shops around here sell to anyone, and see that's there are some vape shops around here that don't card, but there are some vape shops around here that do, and the ones that do are required to by the owner of the shop, and there's a camera there, and I have talked to the manager about this, so I'm not just talking out the side of my neck, because they've carded me before, and I go in there all the time, and they still to this day card me when I go in there, and they are, by order of the owner of the shop, they are to card everybody, even if they're an old person coming in there with a cane and they're hunched over like the Hunchback in Notre Dame. They have to card everybody that comes in there, and they said that the owner of the shop comes in daily and checks to make sure they're carding every sale that they make. And I think that that's what they should have to do in vape shops. That's just my opinion. I don't ever see that happening, but that's just my opinion of it.
Yeah. Now, do you think that doing this, I know what my opinion is, do you think doing this will actually lower the teen smoking rate? Because, you know, we know a lot of the starters, when they start, are one of two places. Either as a teen is when they start smoking, or when they go to the military. Those are normally the two places that people start smoking.
I started at like 12 or 13. I mean, I started real young, but I didn't look 12 or 13. So I was buying my own stuff. I was the supplier guy, you know, and it's just, would I rather have vaped? Yeah. But it's just the fact that you were smoking and...
It is? Hey, Fresh.
Hey, Fresh.
But it was just the fact that you were smoking in front of your friends, and it just brought your cool level up, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But if vaping was around back when I started, I probably would have tried it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
Yeah, I think I'm on. I think I'm on with SC on that one. Had vaping been around when I was young, because that's what it was. It was, you know, you were smoking to be cool around your friends, and that's how it usually starts, is the peer pressure type thing. But had vaping been around, and I discovered vaping when I was younger, I would have been vaping to show off instead of smoking cigarettes, and I probably wouldn't have been coughing up blood at 19 years of age had I been vaping when I was younger.
Yeah.
So, and do I think it would lower the teen smoking rate? Absolutely, because a lot of teens would find out that it's better to vape and they get more out of it than smoking cigarettes, because you don't have like the breathing problems and stuff like that. You got a variety of flavors that you can get a hold of and stuff like that. So, I think it would lower it substantially.
Oh, I totally agree. Fresh, you got anything to chime in on that?
I was saying hello to everybody out there. Hello, Aiden. I mean, I know when I started smoking, it was because someone infinitely cooler than me was smoking, and they were willing to share a cigarette with me. So, for me, it was more about image. It wasn't about rebelling. I mean, my stepdad and me and him didn't get along all that great, but that's a step-parent relationship versus a actual parental relationship. Me and my mom always got along. So I wasn't rebelling. She hated that I was doing it, but it was nothing about that. It was about me hanging out with the cool people for once.
Right.
Now, let's answer the question that was on our splash on the Facebook page. This is the question I want to know.
Okay.
If we were watching Grease today, would John Travolta be vaping or smoking?
Oh, he'd still be smoking.
Yeah. I think he would still be smoking. Absolutely, I do. That was the thing back then. Even my grandmother.
No, I mean if it was in today's settings.
Today's settings.
Not with this family friendly as that is. Kind of, sort of. I mean, he wouldn't be smoking. He wouldn't be vaping either. It'd be a Disney production at this point.
True.
Or what was the show? Grease Live. Grease Live.
Yeah.
Live.
My fiance texted me the other day, and I said, "What are you watching?" She said, "Grease Live. It's pretty good." I said, "Oh God."
I heard it was really
They had Grease Live.
You know, Steve actually brought up a good. Steve has a ton of statistics and everything else. He actually has a statistic that was done by Yale, and it says that it was a 1 increase of e-cigs and 65 decrease in smoking.
So I mean, does that have to do with the image now? With the image today, though, as well. I mean, the really cool people, they don't go out and smoke, or at least they don't do it. Otherwise, their Disney gets fucking voided. So
a lot of it has to do with image nowadays.
Yeah.
Just now, I mean, it's the cool thing to do, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to actually turn it over for a couple minutes to Brian and Fresh to talk about Addie's Yogurt.
Addie's Yogurt.
What's going on with
my 2 mils I have left?
This is the topic that I love talking
because
about.
I haven't tried it yet.
Oh.
This is my Addie supply. I'm running a little low. I have another bottle over here, but I just finished it off today, and I just started vaping this an hour ago.
Yep.
That is a juice that Fresh made. I do know that it had something to do with a yogurt that who was it? Fresh Addy Tooney came up with the DIY, and then you kind of put your own little twirl on it.
Yeah, he came up with a custard, a strawberry, blueberry, kiwi custard. And when I got the TFA Greek yogurt flavor in, I was like, I know I can do something similar with this. I know it. And I went crazy, but I didn't go crazy all that long. I go crazy when it comes to working on a flavor. So like an 8-hour period of going crazy, of mixing batches, that's not so bad for me. But yeah, so I finally got it nailed down, and it's kind of odd because you like increase the kiwi and you take the blueberry down compared to the actual Addy's custard where the blueberry's up and the kiwi's down. It was kind of weird. It took me a minute to figure that out.
Probably because of the tanginess of the yogurt compared to the sweetness of the custard.
And plus, it's a Greek yogurt. It's not just a regular yogurt, so it's got that kind of tartness to it, and the kiwi adds to it. And I freaking love it, man. I love vaping this juice. God, do I love it. I'm going to be getting I hope Fluent, if you're still in the chat, will you let me know if you put the 240 option back up yet? Because I need a re-up. And this juice is so good. I love it.
Nature of what me and Fluent did. Me and Fluent were having a conversation on Trucker's show one night. Well, they weren't having a conversation. It was me running my mouth off about something. And someone out in the comments asked. I'm pretty sure this is how it went down. Someone out in the comments asked me the same thing that I get asked all the time. Is Fresh, are you ever going to put a juice line out? And I was like, no. I'm not in it to put juice out. The only way I would ever do it is if someone did a 100% non-profit e-liquid and worked with me, and then I'd give them a recipe, and then I'd sit back and not do anything else. And Fluent immediately said dibs. So we put the flavor together, and we 2 weeks ago exactly. 2 weeks ago exactly at this point we put it out. And so thus far we're way over $2,000 raised for Not Blowing Smoke. And the e-liquid, when you go and buy it, 100% of profit goes to notblowingsmoke.org.
Cool.
I'm sure your folks probably know who Not Blowing Smoke is, but Not Blowing Smoke is they're the people on the ground right now. They're out, putting those campaigns out, trying to dispel a lot of the misinformation, stuff like that. And they're awesome people. Lee and Laurel are absolutely awesome people. I love them to death, and they're crazy enough to have jumped on the train with me.
Yeah, Laurel and Lee are awesome people. They were just in the chat not that long ago,
and someone just said the 250 is up.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm actually on the website right now, and it says update total to be donated from the first round is $2,450.69, and that's in what, 2.5 weeks? Not even
2 weeks. 2 weeks in 14 days.
And it is a really, really good juice. So, on the inhale of it, you get a nice hit of kiwi. And on the exhale, you can really taste the tartness of the Greek yogurt with a nice little hit of blueberry and strawberry. God, it's so good. Oh my God.
Sounds pretty delicious.
Gone.
There you go, Babe Ross. Gotcha. There's another guy I've gotten. He hates me a little bit. Babe Ross Vape does. If you order that and if you order Addy's yogurt and you use the coupon code Fresh03, you get 35% off the rest of your order. Anything else in the store.
So anybody that wants to get it, go over there and get it. We'll probably go get one next pay. I just didn't have money this pay for it.
Yeah,
or when I get my taxes, I'll probably get one. Just because of what it's going toward.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic the support we've gotten as well.
But
it's awesome how fast it blew up.
Yeah. Well, and that, this is, and it's kind of, at this point, it's totally grassroots. It's totally me and Fluent just going out, beating feet, talking to people, and trying to put bottles in people's hands. And,
that's why I wanted to make sure to give you the chance to come on, Fresh, because I wanted to give you the chance to come on to be able, because I know you want to pound this out as much as you can. And
exactly.
I'm sure 90% of the people that watch mine probably watch some of the others, but you know what? There's always those few that may not. So there's always those extra bit.
Exactly. And I've been on live shows. I've been shooting emails, text, Facebooking, and we don't even give the e-liquid away. We buy it. Either me or Fluent buy the liquid that we send out to reviewers. That's how intense we are about this. Is we buy that for you and give it to you. So my intention is to get it in everybody's hands at some point, but same as you, man. Every once in a while you run a little short on funds. And you're like, oh man.
Yep. And I want to buy 12 more 30 mils to get in people's hands, but I can't do it. I can't do it right now. I put a quick little review up of the Addy's yogurt thing up on my channel just to get the word out there. I only got 40-some subscribers, but still, I wanted to get it put out there. Not only because it's a good juice, but it's an awesome cause. And I've expressed this to you and Fluent many times over. It's an awesome cause, and it's an awesome juice. It's an awesome cause, and it's awesome that you're doing something like that for the community, Fresh. And I really do praise you for it. It's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, I can't believe that they agreed to do a 100% non-profit e-liquid. I mean, that's crazy talk to me, But it's really cool, and yeah, like I said, there is an insidious part of me as well. The recipe that I happen to hand them, I'm like, what'll happen when people try this e-liquid, right?
It's going to be viral.
They'll be back. We're like heroin. We're getting that heroin in your veins. When you try it, there's no helping you.
It's probably just as bad as Sinful Apple Roll.
It's up there. It's up there.
Because I'll tell you, when I get it, I'll probably like it because I love the Schwartz.
Oh, you're gonna when you get Addies, you're gonna be like, what was I vaping before?
Yeah, you will.
And actually, later, Fresh, I'm gonna get with you because I want to get some good ideas of good places to get a few certain flavors.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Because I'm going to start DIYing, and my goal is my first two juices, and you're going to laugh because they're two of the harder juices to get correct, a Southern Sweet Tea, and I'm talking true Southern.
Okay. It doesn't seem that wacky to me.
And the McDonald's version, the original strawberry lemonade. I cannot find a strawberry lemonade that I like.
Well, I made a recipe. I made a recipe up called Restraint Style Strawberry Limeade. It tastes like strawberry limeade from Sonic. I don't know if that would be up your alley. What you're looking for?
It's pretty much the one that I'm envisioning. Has that lemonade kick, because the one that's really getting me is the lemonade.
Yeah.
Who do you recommend? Do you recommend Loran's?
No.
Who do you recommend for the lemonade?
Flavor West Natural Lemonade.
Okay.
So good. It's such a good flavor.
Because I've heard everybody saying, oh, just get some champagne and get some Loran's lemon, and you're good.
No, you're not. You won't be quite as good that way. Flavor West Natural Lemonade tastes like that natural. Tastes like an actual natural lemonade. It's not like Country Timey or anything like that.
Good. That's the kind I'm looking for.
Nice tartness, and then you just want to put a strawberry together that you like on top of it.
So Aiden in the chat would like to know if anybody has a recommendation on a good pink lemonade juice.
Honestly, I actually have a review of one that if he doesn't mind a thinner juice, it's not, because pink lemonade is supposedly supposed to be almost a strawberry lemonade. But it's not what I've been looking for because of, I'm looking for something totally different. But Triumphant's pink lemonade is actually really good. I have a review of it up in my Triumphant review. So
I think I had Triumphant. I think that is the pink lemonade that I liked.
That's one of the few pink lemonades I've actually liked.
I like lemonade vapes. They're good.
Now, I'll tell you the best I've ever tasted, a cranberry lemonade.
Yeah.
It was Century by BRV. Century by BRV. Oh my goodness! It's one of the best It's one of the best lemonades I've ever had. Oh. But you know what? It's already way over an hour with our little screw up. The main reason we were on late tonight, Fresh.
Yeah.
First 17 minutes, we thought we were live and we weren't.
Oh, good times.
It was saying live on our side, but nobody over here could see it. So I'm going to go ahead and start it off, and then we'll go down the line. Don't forget, come out, check all my connections. I've got my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter, and Instagram are the exact same. Make sure before you leave, click the subscribe button down below this, because next week we will be having our juice review the same day on Tuesday at 10 p.m. And next week is Last Stand Vapor. So that should be a really good review. And actually, Fresh, would you want to come back for that?
If I can.
Okay. Just send me your address on Vaporium, and I'll have them send you the juice.
Okay, well, I mean, I won't be, I get home from San Diego Tuesday night, so that's what I was saying, if I can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm booking out for San Diego. I'm not even gonna get to go on I'm gonna get to do my DIY show this weekend, which breaks my heart.
Well, maybe we'll get you on the month after or something like that, because I definitely want to get you on again. But hopefully, Nikki, next time we'll be able to get on. We had a couple people that were supposed to be on. They didn't make it. So hopefully we get them next week. But once again, don't forget. And, Brian, pull up that giveaway screen real quick before we finish this.
Okay, how do I do it?
Google. You know what? We'll just do it next week. I'll have it already drawn next week. For anybody that hasn't done it, go to last month's episode of The Scoop. That would be episode 3. There is a giveaway of the full line of homebrewed vapes.
Ooh.
Yeah, the whole line is being given away. So make sure go over there, check out that video. It is like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. But it is a juice review as well as the advocacy portion. If you want to fast forward through the advocacy, that's fine, because we've touched on pretty much everything this month that's still relevant. But make sure go over there, check that out. Next week at 10 p.m. we will do the juice review for 2. It's either 2 or 3. I think it's 3 of Last Stand Vapors. They're a Pennsylvania-grown e-juice, so they'll be doing it next week, and then as long as everything still works out the way I have it planned, as long as Matt from Suck My Mod gets his new line to come out, he will be here in March for that juice review, and as long as it works out, Kevin Skipper will actually be on at least one of the episodes, and he may announce something very special for us in PA on that episode. There's a possibility. Yeah. And the month after that, we will probably be Stephen James will probably have his next juice line coming up. He was supposed to be this month, but it wasn't ready, so that's why we did Last Stand Vapor. But go ahead, Brian.
Okay, everybody knows where to find me. If you don't, I'm on YouTube under Vape King Brian Hinkle. All my social networks are under the same name, except Instagram has underscores in between Vape King Brian and Hinkle, and my Twitter is at Vape King Brian H. And you can subscribe to my YouTube if you want. I'll be putting up a review for Conspiracy Liquids tonight that I got sent over for review as soon as we get off of here, and I'll also be starting build tutorials at the end of this week on my channel.
Awesome.
Pretty
Okay. Fresh, go ahead.
I'm Fresh03 on YouTube. I do a whole shit ton of DIYing. I also host a show Wednesday nights at generally 8 p.m. Pacific, right after Heavy Metal Vapor Show. I'm kind of the late night show. If you hover over my name out here in the comments, I just typed "hello." You can check out my channel if you feel like it. Give you something to do. I do a lot of long videos and a lot of long shows. So
yeah, but yours are more laid back too, though. Fresh.
Yeah, true.
Yours are a lot more laid back than a lot of ours.
And if you want to subscribe to any of us, our names are, I believe we all commented in the chat. If you don't know how to do it, just hover over our name and click on it, and it'll take you straight to our channel.
Yep. I'll also be putting all the links to all the channels down in the description when the replay comes up. So
very nice.
If I don't do it tonight, I'll do it first thing in the morning. Okay, Daniel?
All right. My name is SC Vape on YouTube. It's easy. You just type me in SC Vape. It'll come up. Instagram, Twitter. Instagram is SC_Vape_reviews. Twitter is Mr. Vape 17. Yeah, that's really it. Come over and subscribe if you want honest reviews, because I don't care.
There you go. It's the way to be.
Just don't care.
Tell people
I just
the
asked Tommy. Tommy may come over next week for the. I asked him if he wants to come over next week for the review. So maybe he'll be our fourth, because I at least want to have 4 that I can submit to him tonight. So because needless to say, he needed them tonight or tomorrow morning. So. But we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Tommy, if you want to do that, just message me at my email or message me over on Vaporium. If any of you are not in my Vaporium, which is up in this upper corner, right there, make sure. And we will go ahead and get you in. Everybody there is great with you. If you're not a member, make sure to get over there. And Tommy, just send me your email, or send me an email with your address, and I will send you, I'll get the juice sent out to you no matter what. That way, as long as your work schedule allows, you can come on. But we're going to go ahead and head out of here. So
don't forget to mention fluentvapors.com to get yogurt.
I will put Fluent Vapors down in the bottom also. That way everybody gets it. Just remind me all the links, Brian, and I'll get that taken care of. If there's any I missed, just tell me. I will also put a link to the documentation for that research. Stephen James has given me the research, so I will put it down in the bottom also. So, talk to you guys next week, 10 o'clock, same time.
See ya, everybody.
See ya.
Thanks for coming.